Guys, hey, congratulations when today's end.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So let me shoot it off to Michael first. Hey, Michael, where did you come up with the idea for your movie, and why did you want to do it in this format?
Yeah, I think being on social media and seeing these kids and the bullying that's going on with them, and then I saw a couple kids take their own lives live on social media, and I said, what is going on here? How is this happening? So I did some research and I found, demographics that are, the most demographics that are doing this. And I said, something's got to be done. So I put it together in a story. I did some research and put all these stories together. And I said, they're all doing it live anyway. So let's do it that way, because that's really showing the truth. And I want to bring out the truth to the world and start this conversation about mental health and what's happening to teenagers right now. It's the second leading cause of death in teenagers in our country. So
Obviously. And Derick, why were you attracted to a project like this? I understand this is your second movie.
It was actually my first movie, so that was really cool. And what drew me to this was the message behind it. Coming from being bullied in my life, I think being a voice for some of those kids that don't have it is one of the most important things I can do. And that's why I want to become an actor, to spread message and, like I said, be a voice for those who don't have one.
Derick, this being your first movie, this is quite a challenge right off the bat. Could you talk about playing James in this particular movie?
Yeah, it was difficult, but again, I can't thank Michael enough, and I can't thank the cast enough. But playing James was really important to me. I brought a lot of what like I said, I've dealt with into the role, so that kind of helped me be more comfortable, I guess, in playing that role. But again, it was very difficult, and everybody on set made it a very welcoming environment and a very safe environment to be able to dive into such a deep role. Playing James shows a different side of bullying that a lot of people don't see. A lot of people think of bullying, they think, oh, it happens in the hallways of school. It happens after school. But a lot of times it also happens on sports teams, through hazing and through, there's no one to stop it a lot of the times on the hockey team. Kids have to deal with themselves. So I think that's a great, role to be able to show a different aspect of bullying that takes on the world.
Excellent. Michael, talk about crafting these three characters, these three stories for yourself.
yeah. So like I said, I was doing a lot of research and I found, okay, what are the demographics that this happens to? And trying to get pieces of all these different stories and putting it all together into these four characters was challenging, but also enlightening to see, like, this is what's really going on. And, I never really dealt with depression. My stuff is more panic attacks and stuff. So to see what these kids are going through, especially in this day and age, we had filmed this movie years ago and I'd edited this film and it was completely done, ready to go into festivals. And then I met Derick. He auditioned for my play and we got really deep as friends and as actor to director. And I heard his story and I was like, what? Good looking kid, hockey team. What? I just could not fathom. So I actually cut one of the storylines of the finished film and I heard his story. I said, I got to put this movie on hold and film this story because I missed this demographic. I didn't even put it together that someone who's a great hockey player, star of a team, is getting bullied by his teammates and in school. And that, males are the leading cause of teen suicide. It's the rate is higher in males. And to see this kid not be able to express how he felt. And, his parents knew a little, I think Derick's parents knew a little bit, but he was still afraid to kind of talk about it because then, the males were not allowed to talk about this kind of stuff. So I thought, wow, this is a demographic that needs to be hit. And so, yeah, that's how that came about.
Michael, could you, on the camera work, was it difficult to basically try to do this sort of like a screen capture, social media type of camera work for this film?
Yeah, we try to do it authentic as possible. Every shot was planned, but the hardest part about this was like the rehearsals with the actors and getting them deep into these characters for these 8 to 10, 12-minute takes. But then teaching them the camera work and having them get these, this flow. I want to hit this this candle at this time and this doorway and going through this light. And I think that was really challenging to teach them that. But also, you're 7 minutes into a long take, and then, the actor's in it so much and they flip the camera up and they catch a light or a thing, we have to go back and do it again. So I think that was the most challenging thing, but I think it worked well to get the rawness of them, because at the end I've never seen Derick angry. And I think by the end he was like, okay, now I just got everything and just get this out and get it going. So I think a lot of the rawness was real and authentic, what was happening. And, as a director, I don't really like my actors to look in the mirror and look at themselves while they're acting. So they had to look at themselves, deal with that part. But I think it also put that back on them, what these kids are doing and what they're going through.
Well, then let's throw it off to Derick. How was that experience for you? Because Michael described a lot about it.
Well, we're still talking, which is good.
Yeah, it was very fun. One scene which was funny. It was when I was taking my hockey bag out the front door. I don't know if Michael wants me to say this, but I actually said, "Can we cut? Can we please cut?" And he said, "You can't do that." I'm like, everything was going wrong. So that was fun. But the fun to me also means it was pretty difficult for sure. It was exciting, and when I thought of becoming an actor and doing a movie, I thought, well, you're not gonna have to hold the camera. Someone's gonna do it. But I think doing this kind of experience, being able to hold the camera, it actually grew me more as an actor than, just being being in front of the camera, not holding it yourself. So I think that was a really cool experience. I grew as an actor. And I think it's more important, I grew as a human being, thanks to Michael and thanks to this movie.
Well, I said to Derick, if you're never going to have a movie you're doing 12-minute takes with 10 monologues and holding the camera, so if you can do this, you can pretty much do it.
Also that too. So
Derick, how much social media presence or experience do you had prior to do a film like this?
I mean, I have Twitter, I have Instagram, I have Snapchat, I have all like the big three that on TikTok now. TikTok's also growing. Geez, that's a whole nother thing. Michael and I talked about it. But yeah, I've been bullied through social media on Twitter when I was younger. So I mean, it's dangerous, but it also could help, especially with this movie, it could help to show a message. But yeah, I've had social media. I don't go on a lot. Michael can probably contest to that. I don't go on it as much as most kids do, just because I don't know how to usually work it. So, but yeah, I have social media. I've dealt with it, and I think most kids have dealt with it in a part of their life for sure.
Michael,
yeah,
how much presence of social media do you have? I'm guessing you're probably closer to my age or something like that, and yeah. I would never find these type of videos.
The thing is like, I'm not really technical. I think someone helping me with Zoom right now. I'm not technical at all. Never have been, never. I mean, yeah. So the only reason I'm on social media is for work. I mean, that is how these days you get your work out there, and a lot of people that support my work and follow me with the work and the messages that it's all on Instagram and Facebook. So that's really the only reason I'm on. I think I'd put it down if I didn't have to, but we have to. That's just part of the job now, unfortunately. So, but as you can see, there's not really any pictures of me anywhere. This isn't my thing at all. Just want to make movies.
Yeah. And I'll add to this. I grew up not really having a lot of social media. I think social media kind of hit me when I was around probably 10. But I think nowadays kids are born into it. I mean, you see it all the time. Kids are famous now at 3. I'm like, how does that work?
It's interesting though, Derick. I think your age, how old are you? 22 now, right?
22, yeah.
22. It seems to be the kids are not kids, but the people in 25, 26, 27, that age range seems to be more into it. Like the people I talk to in your range aren't really into social media. I find it really interesting that you guys are like over it.
Well, I think too is, I think social media, people are starting to see it as something that isn't as good as they thought it was going to be. Also, I'm in college, so I'm doing acting and in college, so I'm focusing a lot on that, and I'm not focusing on the social media part. But again, 25, 26, like you're saying, social media helps you get jobs now. I mean, geez, social media can do anything. It's amazing. So this movie is very timely, and I'm so glad it's coming out now.
Excellent. I just find it funny that Michael's camera's off for a film that it's all about camera work and social media.
Yeah.
Hey Derick, tell
Yes.
tell us the truth. How good are you at hockey?
At hockey, I mean,
You're good. You're good.
I'm
good.
I'm good. I started when I was around 3 or 4 years old. A lot of the guys that I played with right now are either playing Division I or in professional hockey. So I could have gone down that path, but it wasn't important to me enough. And from what I dealt with, I just said I didn't want to deal with that for the rest of my life. So yeah, I mean, it isn't everything. It was everything to me at one point, but if I didn't stop, I wouldn't be able to be a part of this movie and to be able to call myself an actor. So
that's great. I don't want to go into significant details if you're uncomfortable talking about it, but I do have a godson who was bullied on his football team.
Yeah.
Through hazing and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
How close was the story of the movie to your bullying? And if you could tell, if you could, talk about it if you want to.
It was close to what I lived. There were some scenes that I didn't go through. But I know it's happened to other people, especially from doing research with Michael. But the bag scene, that did happen to me. I was the little guy on the high school team, 8th grader. So they just thought it was funny. But when you really think about it, it's not that funny. But yeah, I brought a lot of what I've dealt with into that character. And from talking to Michael and him giving me the opportunity that I'm so grateful for, him writing me a role in such an important film, it means the world to me. So that's the cool thing about this role, is that it's not cool, but what I'm saying is that it shows a different aspect of bullying that you don't really hear a lot about, the hazing and on sports teams. And it lives with you for the rest of your life, because I hear it from adults too, how they have dealt with it.
So when you perform the role as James, and basically reliving through it, was it tough on you, or you just basically have already moved on?
Some parts were tough, especially some of the scenes like you probably saw watching the movie. But I knew it wasn't about me. It was about the kids that we were trying to save. So if you save one life, that means that's why we did it. But Michael being able to create such a safe environment, and he was with me. He wasn't on the screen, but he was right there with me. So was everybody else, and it was such a great support system. So I felt safe doing it. But yeah, it was pretty difficult. But like I said, I grew more as a person from this movie. I mean, you deal with some of the stuff every once in a while. You think about it, you kind of get down. But Michael brought a lot out of me, and helped, get that in my past, and I look forward to the future. So
awesome. Michael, I actually try to go through that hashtag when today ends, or at least on Instagram, and there is no suicide. It's all about your movie. Yeah. Could you tell us about creating that hashtag and the message that you want to come across?
Yeah, I think I did make up that hashtag, but I wanted to create a hashtag that would actually help youth use something to make it positive. As you said, I don't want to give away the end of the movie, but and what's happening now is we send out screeners to a lot of young people, and they're using that hashtag to create change now. And I think that's the goal, is to, when today ends, what can I do to better myself, better someone else, bring joy and love to each other. And I think that is really our ticket in. And I think that's the hope, to create an army of people that can support one another and be there for one another, because it's really one phone call. It's one moment, in the movie, Jenna is telling you, these are the signs to watch. And she performs each sign in every scene, and no one stops her. no one's really listening. They're looking at how pretty she is and this, they're not really listening. So I think we really need to open our eyes, listen to one another, have compassion for one another, see each other. And that's really what this is about. And that's what the hashtag is about.
Yeah, I do happen to agree with you that social media can actually show signs of certain people's mental health illness on that they actually post. There was an experiment of one social influencer where a lot of people never noticed is that she had an alcoholic drink in every single single photo.
Right.
And that turned out, and that was a campaign against alcoholism to see if people actually noticed, and thousands of people never even noticed.
Exactly.
So
it's crazy.
It is crazy. So let me wrap it up with one more question for both of you, because obviously for the past 12 to 13 months, a lot of people, are staying at home. A lot of places aren't open as we are starting to open and so on. Mental health was actually a big factor. But I want to know is how you two, both of you, are staying sane and creative during this past year.
I'll let Michael go ahead on this.
Sane. That's an interesting word. I've been insane, I would say. Luckily, I have a purpose. Why I'm here is to create change in the world. So I have a great team around me, and I kind of kept a bubble, and I have and I kept working on these projects, like the marketing of this. I was in post on another film, writing 2 other films. So I kept creative, and I keep the hope for social change and keep getting these products out there. There's a new thing that comes up. I want to get this out to the world and chart these conversations. So for me, it's the purpose of why I'm here, but also my connections. I think it's really important to create families in your life, whether it's your real family or friend and family, that are there for one another, because especially times like this, we need one another to connect. We're here to connect with each other. And that is the point of life, is to be connected to one another. So, yeah.
For me, just like Michael said, creating a family. Michael's family to me. He's like a brother to me. Also having a support system here at home. My mom and dad are very helpful in keeping me sane for sure. I'm also in school right now, so that's keeping me pretty darn busy, to say the least. I'm also auditioning, so I'm doing that kind of stuff. I'm trying to get outside as much as I can to get some fresh air, because just being inside, it's pretty difficult on you for sure. But I think just being outside, going for walks. I played tennis yesterday, so that was pretty fun.
Nice.
Just being active for sure it's helping me be sane, because like Michael said, I've been insane too. We all have. So I mean, I've called Michael before, and so like, how you doing?
Losing it.
I'm losing my mind. How about you? So, but just being able to talk with someone, it's very important. So that's how I keep sane for sure.
Excellent. Well, hey, Derick, Michael, hey, thank you for speaking to us about this film, When Today Ends, and I look forward to your future projects for both of you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate taking the time.
Privilege is mine.